yes, oh yes, oh yes. Legends, happy Halloween, I can see here in the comment section. Today's going to be a scary night. Will it be a scary night for Bitcoin? Also, guys, let me know in the comment section. Will it be scary or not? Let me know, because it's Friday. We've had a few Fridays that haven't been too great for Bitcoin in October. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. You can see me now. We can see the charts. Let's go right away through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. I should have got some Halloween background music today. Bit of scary music in the background. Man, it's Friday today. It's Halloween. Let's go. Thanks for the $19, my man. Much love to you here already with a super chat. 19 Great British pounds. Let's go. Botmation, much love to you, brother. Thank you very much. I'll have a beer. All right. Thank you very much. When I get a beer, I will remember you. Okay. You've paid for it today. Much love to you, my man. Thanks for the super chat. Anyway, let's go through the comment section and let's go through Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Man, we got a lot of people trying to sell here, at least on Bybit. There's, damn, at the highs here, 14 million shorts, now 4 million shorts. People want to short a lower high, which makes sense, right? The market is downtrending since Monday. So I get it, right? It's kind of a zone that you would want to short, because you have the highs of Monday at 116.3, lower high, right over here, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right, there is actually an indicator for this, but anyway, I like to draw it on the chart. The price to change the bearish structure that we formed from the rejection of $116,000 needs to break 111.6k, maybe 111.5k, depending on what exchange you're using. This lower high from yesterday. And this is kind of an interesting zone, right? So like, you know, I want to short because we're downtrending. The market looks like crap. We have been downtrending quite a bit. There is a possibility here for a local low. There is a possibility for a larger bounce. You are not breaking structure, right, till you get above this last lower high of yesterday. We're downtrending still. However, there is a possibility for this to be a local low, at least in a 5-wave structure. We'll go in detail through Elliott wave later on. Let's be honest here, guys. Sometimes you're like, we are downtrending, okay? Because this happens to me as well. Wait for a sign of strength, right? But then the sign of strength is absolutely bananas, right? It's like super powerful. And unless you longed at the low, kind of long in here doesn't make too much sense, right? You kind of don't want to long here in a downtrend. You would rather look for shorts, right? So sometimes trying to catch the high or trying to catch the low at certain specific levels, preferably liquidity grabs, well known as swing failure patterns, you get above a lower high or a higher low, and you just look for the long position. You got the lower high here from 116k, and those higher lows here at 106.6k, which we did drop a few $100s, and we reclaimed that level, right? There's only two major higher lows here that you can consider a swing failure pattern to get into a trade. Sometimes this is a strategy, literally. It is a strategy. If you were to stick to major pivot higher lows or lower highs for a swing failure pattern, okay, you would definitely be in the green. You know, sometimes you just stick to this liquidity grab to stop hunt, right? All of those stop losses that are obviously hiding above a higher low, a lower high, or a higher low in this case, right? So let me know in the comment section, are you feeling bullish? Are you feeling bearish, guys? I'm actually going to create a poll here, okay? Going to create a poll, and we're obviously going to likely finish October in the red unless we start pumping several $1,000s in the next coming hours, because yes, October is in the red, legends. It's in the red. October's 3% down as we speak. Man, who sold me the dream of October being the most bullish month ever? We had it on the data, guys. It was only 2 red months in the last 12 years. Damn, seems like that we are going to create a red month, because unless the price pumps 3% in the next coming hours, we are closing red October. How will November, if October has end up red? Doesn't really matter, right? We need to talk about the level by level here, guys, on the chart. Different scenarios that we are going to speculate on here today. And what are the zones that we need to take into consideration? And that's about it. We'll go level by level. Is there a bearish case? Absolutely. Of course there is a bearish case. There is a bearish case. You got a strong impulse down to the downside, right? This bounce that can be well fitted as a double zigzag WXY with a flat in your wave X. Just a corrective bear flag, right? For all of those average Joes out there that just don't want to follow up the Elliott wave theory. It's just a bear flag, right? And we are breaking down, you know, get ready because we're going lower. Or maybe, right, if we do have that ABC flat here, we have the inverted head and shoulder. Of course, a lot of people are taking a look at futures exchanges, but man, I kind of like this inverse head and shoulder. I'm not an inverse head and shoulder fan, okay? But man, it's pretty damn nice, I have to say, right? We've got a pretty nice inverse head and shoulder here. It looks pretty cool, right? Of course, you need a higher low. We just beautifully back tested the left shoulder. That's looking at spot exchanges such as Coinbase. Yesterday, not only we got a swing failure pattern from the higher lows created on the 22nd, 23rd of October. Swing failure pattern. Test the lows, get a bounce of a few $1,000s. It's kind of a pretty average trade setup. I attempted this twice, guys. I got stopped out on once and managed to catch this movement to the upside. We back tested the left shoulder, if you see on Coinbase, right? You kind of back tested that level for the reaction bounce. Now, is this reaction bounce strong or not? We're going to have to go through the different setups that has been shared through the pro community, and I will share them today on YouTube, okay, on the lower time frame. Let me know, guys. Let's create that poll. Are you feeling bullish for the next few weeks? Let me know, guys. Yes, no, bear market, loading. Let's keep the vote simple. But we have to give the bulls a chance. There is a bullish case scenario, even though it's awful, guys. It doesn't look good at all from this low. From this low, if we need to consider after this major drop that there's something bullish about this move to form a higher low here, man, it doesn't look too great, but there is a chance. Let's leave it that way. And sometimes what does not look that great on a chart sometimes gives you the best options, right, to get into a setup. We're going to go through that right away, okay? First of all, let's go through comment section. Liquidity. Not much more to say about liquidity. You know, when we do take a look at the liquidity, there is liquidity to the downside below 106K. Okay, there's hundreds of millions of long liquidations, but there's lots of short liquidations as well above 116K mainly, right? We still got a big stack of short liquidations. So do we go down first and then up, or do we go up and then down? That's something that we're going to try and figure out here with a little bit of technical analysis. The levels to take into consideration. It was in your best interest to long here on a swing failure pattern on a daily level that I attempted as well yesterday that didn't play out, but this swing failure pattern did finally, you know, get the bounce. So I'm interested in holding that long, right? This is a kind of a long position that has the potential to come to 116K, right? Profits are not that great. So I'm willing to hold this position to give it a chance. How do I re-enter a long position here, right? That's what we're going to talk about. If the price is going to gain momentum to the upside, how, you know, where do we enter? Where's the stop? Let's go through the different scenarios that I would like to see. But of course, we will talk about the bearish scenario as well, okay? We are pretty neutral in the market, okay? Especially on the low mid time frame. I need to remain quite neutral. I can't only be extremely bullish or only be extremely bearish. I like to get into day trade setups and maybe hold that day trade for a swing trade, right? That's what we try and do as traders. And go, you know, have targets as the highs, have targets as the lows. That's what we target for, right? If we break and continue to the upside, then even better. We can hold 30-40% of the trade to maximize profits if that is the case. But yeah, anyway, let's go through the comment section. We'll talk about the bullish or bearish case first, guys. Okay, and what levels need to be hit and how the price, I would want to see it, you know, evolve for me to actually, you know, take into consideration a short, because I'm not liking a short here, if I'm honest, especially if we get so many shorts entering here. Oh, we got lots of longs entering right now, so that's not good. We might create some local bearish CVDs. Anyway, let's go through comment section, say hello to the beautiful community, and we'll crack on here with the price of Bitcoin. Are you feeling bullish or bearish for the next coming weeks, guys? Get your votes in here. Whoop, 60% are feeling bullish. Bear market, 9%. You know what they say, just a small amount, small percentage are actually the ones that are right. Too many people feeling bullish. No, I'm not feeling bullish. 32%. Okay, number one, my man, much love to you. Rod, 33K, then 200K. Well, yeah, that would be a significant drop. Paz Maria Vallejos, mucho amor. Delulu, Meme Cat, how are you doing? How are you doing? Let's go. Caraviera, Happy Halloween Legends. Jose Banuelas, Golo Spanish, mucho español o suramericano. Greetings from Poland, Andy. Much love to you. Sin Games, let's go. Botmation, thanks for the super chat, brother. Much love. 150K end of year, says Axel. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 150K. Very possible, yes. Crypto by Mattia, here he is. Oh, he changed your profile picture. Oof, good luck. Much love, my man. I need to run. Wife is looking at me like it's time to go shopping. Wish me luck, guys. Much luck to you, my man. Okay, thanks for joining the stream. Send it to much higher levels, says Crypto by Mattia. Go and follow Crypto by Mattia, guys. He provides insane content. Great trader as well. Go and check him out and subscribe to the channel. Crypto by Mattia is here. We need to play a game of tennis soon. Anyway, let's go. 150K end of year, says Axel. Very frustrating market. It is a frustrating market, but there is always opportunities, right? I think a lot of people just buy and hold, right? They say buy and hold. If you would have bought and hold, okay, throughout the last couple of years, most of your altcoins are in the red. Let's be honest. I bought different altcoins and I can say most of them are down. So trading is actually the way to go. You need to be very patient, plan your trades very, very carefully. But I've made more trading throughout the last few months than holding my crypto. Okay, it's pretty obvious. But you know, as mentioned, I do have a lot of altcoins that I am going to hold on. Just hold on. They're in the red, but I'm not selling now, right? We hold on to zero if that is the case. Just like Umbrella. Just like Cadena. I even had a bit of Cadena, guys, in the portfolio. I managed to... Yeah, I know I didn't manage to get to sell any of this one. Sorry, my bad. I was confusing myself here with Fowler Network. Yeah, Cadena went... went down the toilet. Down the toilet. It was one of them that I had in the portfolio. You know, I have more than 20 altcoins. Less than 1% each one, approximately. Cadena... I don't know what happened to this one. It imploded. It imploded. I haven't even sold down here. This is the risk that you take, right? We're bottoming out. Boom. Out. Some cryptos have failed, right? We did have an issue with Rune as well. Obviously, well, Terra Luna is from another year. Anyway, we're not here to talk about this, okay? We're not here to talk about this. We're here to talk about Bitcoin and where we can find some trading opportunities, because trading is the way to go, right? If you short the market in the bear market, why are we going to fear a bear market if we can short as well, right? We can look for short trades. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to actually look at how the price needs to develop to take into consideration a short trading setup, okay? Much love to everybody. Muy interesante, muy interesante. Andy1, much love to you. Great name, by the way. Muy interesante. 126k might be the top. Might have been the top, says Train. Yeah, absolutely. What would Elliot do? We're going to do that right away. BTC is king. BTC is king. That's right. Right? When you play around with altcoins, you find out. You find out. And I'm actually quite okay because I have mainly Ethereum and Chainlink. I mean, ICP was 5% approximately of my portfolio, guys. So I did take a pretty damn good hit on ICP the last few weeks. Down about $25,000 on that, just on the spot holding, okay? It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. But mainly, of course, Bitcoin is the number one. That's doing pretty damn good, right? Bitcoin is 60% approximately of my portfolio, and Bitcoin's still at $110,000, which is, come on, right? Whoever's been playing around with altcoins can, mainly more altcoins in the portfolio is feeling the pain massively. I'm feeling a bit of pain because I am down on a few altcoins, but what can we say, guys? It is Bitcoin's the king. Hi, Andy. Which app you can see the people short or long? Well, you do have Exo charts, okay? That's where you can see the footprint. Exo chart is, you need to pay for this software. I think it's about $30 a month. But also you do have AGGR.trade, where you do see the CVD divergence, right? You do see people shorting and longing, and that gives you, of course, bullish and bearish CVD divergence. I was actually interested in a possible long trade here, day trade, just to claim the highs. However, on the CVD, on Bybit, we had many longs entering. We had higher highs on the CVD here. I was interested in this pullback to say there is a chance for a higher low. But when I do see this, I'm like, there's no chance. We're going to claim the low, very, very likely. Because the people were just trying to long this pullback. Inevitably, in a downtrend, right, we're trying to catch that reversal. Not even attempting the long here. Also telling the community, guys, that long trade setup that we mentioned based on what we need to see has been cancelled based on the data that we're getting from longs entering the market down here that need to be liquidated. Then we can look for longs, but let's liquidate them first, right? So it's all about taking the decision. Yesterday was a good zone. I mean, it is always a major higher low is always a good swing failure pattern level, right? This was a good shot to take a long position on the reaction, just at 106.6. This higher low even better, but that one was not hit. So it was either this one or this one, right? If you wanted to long the lows, good risk management, you get the reaction, you're longing, stop loss at the low, give it, take a bit of room. If you get stopped out again, that's all good. Boom. You reclaim that level, you have another chance. Once the price decides to reverse, you are going to offset your stop loss, right? Whatever you are risking here, you are going to make back here. Okay, you need to take a bit of profits just to cover your stop loss that you've had, which is the case of what I've done, and leave the rest open. Maybe add to the position depending on the sign of strength, right? We're going to talk about that right away. But yeah, that was basically yesterday here, because nobody wants to long here, I would assume, right? Who's longing up here, right? Let's just bring that here, right? Who is going to long this that looks a little bit toppy, right? It's getting a bit of a triple, quadruple top. Anybody long in here? Not sure if any of me. I think people are more interested in shorting, and that's what we can see on the data. We actually see, well, we've got some longs entering right now, but there's been 14 million shorts here at the top at 110.3k zone. People are interested in shorts. People will likely short this bounce, which gives a full recipe to, you know, potentially break those highs. But getting into longs here is kind of, unless you're getting into one of these higher lows, which is very, very difficult, right? This is the, you know, similar scenario to what happened, right, in this moving structure that we had. We talked about a long position last week here in this area, and after a move down, trust me, there's not many people that want a long here after this bounce. There's going to be more shorts entering the market expecting a rollover. Move down, bounce, roll over, right? Well, that was not the case. That was not the case. So it's very, very difficult to short right now when we've been downtrending. We still have bearish market structure. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? That's the last lower high here. Nobody wants to long when you're downtrending after a pump. You either catch the low on a swing failure pattern. Who's going to long here? You want to wait for a pullback. Will we get that pullback? I don't know. If we do, I'll explain what we need to see. I would class this as a possible impulsive move to the upside, right? You're finishing in a contracting diagonal potentially here. 1, 2, 3, and the fifth wave is a bit of a contracting diagonal. Preferably you do get some kind of a pullback and some overlap, and you see proof of support because you want to get into a long trade on a higher low, right? On the pullback preferably. We talked about this pullback here last week to get into a long, to claim the highs. If you go higher, then perfect. Long in here is, man, I would say if it does continue grinding up, there's a difficult long here. I would be more interested to attempt a short. You got the break of structure here, but this is a little bit of a no trade zone for me. When I do see the movement to the downside, we're going to talk about the bullish case first of all, guys, because we are Bitcoin bulls at the end of the day, right? We can have bear markets, we can feel a bit bearish, but let's talk about the bullish case scenario right away, okay? Good morning, Sunny. How are you doing, brother? Much love. 8.88 has been hit from the past volatile move. Yeah, which one? Tell me the time frame. Baby Genius, much love. Thanks for joining the stream. I think you did comment up above. This is very interesting. Our environment is primed for us. Basically, begin for it. Both long and shorts are emotionally fed. It's a matter of composure and asset management at this point. It is definitely indeed, Baby Genius. Okay, let's cover right away. All right. Buy and hold spot BTC in bear market and only trade BTC, but on leverage. Very true, my man. Steven. I'm in long scalp. Very good. Who got into this long position, right? This is kind of a, you know, it's kind of a classic thing. This short was difficult, especially with that pump. But at the end of the day, the swing failure pattern from 116K, the price came to back test the level. This is one of my, you know, strategies that I got in my modules. I got a module where you create a swing failure pattern, you back test the level, and then you go. And I didn't get into this short. You know, I was actually feeling quite, you know, bullish on the possible retracement. Analyze it. Of course, we end up nuking down, so not interested in longing up here eventually after claiming this high. But, you know, overall saying, you know, we have a good chance to take out this high. And at the end of the day, sometimes you need to go through on the basics. Swing failure pattern back test, guys. But I can tell you already, most that shorted in this zone got stopped out at, you know, the ones especially protecting the position, the ones that had stop loss at the high, still maintained in that trade. So yeah, you know, swing failure pattern from this high yesterday. You got two major higher lows here. You have a shot on one of them, right? Or on both of them, you have a shot. Sometimes you need to keep it simple, get Elliott wave theory out of the way a little bit, have a breather, because what Elliott wave creates is many scenarios, and it can be a little bit, you know, you can get clogged a little bit with too many scenarios, and eventually it just blinds you off some simple trading setups. And yesterday here, you had two attempts. If this one succeeds, then this is the one that you're in. If you form a lower high and you claim that higher low, you've only got two options here to consider this long position to create a higher low. It's either this one, stop loss at the low. If you get stopped out, you have another attempt. If you get the SFB, with stop again beneath the low. If you get stopped on that one as well, then that's it. It's time to go to bed, shut down the computer. We're coming down to the lows, right? So let's go right away through a few scenarios, okay? We're going to cover the bullish one. We need to get Elliott wave theory in the middle here, right? We cannot just go with, oh my goodness, we got an inverted head and shoulder here, guys, right? Which could be the case. Oh my God, look at this. It's kind of picture perfect here. Inverted head and shoulder on the formation. We cannot trade, you know, rely. If you're going to get into the right shoulder, you look no further. Swing failure pattern from the higher low. That's it. This one or this one. But you're trying to long here. We need a little bit of Elliott wave theory help. Okay, we need a little bit of Elliott wave theory help to give us a little bit of options. Okay, to get into a long, and also some CVD divergence data to take into consideration. So, bullish case scenario. Let's talk about the bullish one. We'll talk about the bearish one in the next coming minutes. Bullish case scenario. You formed an expanding diagonal because there's no other solid way, guys, to get this as something bullish, right? You might be thinking you're out of your mind here, believing that there is something bullish here and the price is going to reverse to get up to 116k, attempt to break it. You're out of your mind. Look at the move down that we formed. Are you blind or what? This is a three-wave corrective structure. It's a bear flag. Why the heck would you be bullish here? Right? It's stupid. Don't say that we're going to get a reversal here. It is obvious. Look at the rejection that we've had from all-time high. It's brutal. Look at the bounce. It looks like shit. It is a three-wave structure. It is a bear flag. We've broken down the higher low support trend. There's nothing bullish about this chart. I get that. I mean, I see that. That's just like general drawing on the chart. General basic analysis that sometimes works. However, this is why, even considering Elliott wave theory, basic is boom, flag, three wave. You're breaking down already. You're just getting the relief rally to then nuke down. I get it. I am aware of this. Okay? I will talk about where I would be interested in a short, because, I mean, now we're getting a nice relief rally after testing the lows. I'm not interested in a short here, especially when there's lots of shorts entering the market. I will explain a little bit what I need to see to confirm the short position. And you're just going to have to wait patiently for the price to, you know, to evolve, at least on how I want to see it. This move to the upside, my goodness, there's no solid impulse. There's no solid motive way, okay, to find this actually bullish, to form a higher low. There is only one of them that looks like crap. It seriously is. It looks like, you know, a crap in the toilet that you just want to flush down the pipes, because it doesn't look good. It's an expanding diagonal, which is an extreme rare motive wave. Okay, and, you know, even more rare, forming a flat after that. This does count better as a 5-wave move down. This is the tricky part here. of course, you need a 5 waver in a flat inside of a C wave. Okay, inside of a C wave, you need a 5 waver, right? It's not a 3 wave move. So this is the decision area, right? Can this be the low and we head up to the highs of 116K throughout the next coming days, maybe entering into next week? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And this is not all about having a crystal ball and saying you were right on your prediction. I talk about many scenarios, and I'll talk about the levels that need to provide support for us to have that chance, right? To come up to $116,000. In this case, if this had to be the case here, you can't go much lower than this, right? Maybe another $500, but you're getting very, very close to this low already. So swing failure pattern here was the option to try and catch a possible higher low and go to higher levels. I have to say, this bullish case does not look great, guys. It is a low probability bullish scenario, but low probability sometimes happens, right? Doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's a low probability scenario. First, beginning with this expanding diagonal, okay, is very, very rare. And actually, a double zigzag in the bearish case does fit much better. You have a zigzag, nice zigzag up, a flat in the middle, get a bit people crazy here, what's going on? And then another zigzag to the upside. Double zigzag WXY with flat in your wave X. This kind of looks perfect. So, you know, this eventually brings lower prices throughout the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, let's continue through the bullish case, which is not the greatest one, let's say. It's not the greatest one, but guess what? We have a possible impulsive move to the upside here. We've got a possible leg up. It hasn't broken market structure yet. To break market structure, local bearish market structure since Monday, you need to get above 111.6K. So then, is that the confirmation? Well, you don't want to long into the attempt, right? You want to wait for a pullback, and the pullback, obviously a 3-wave structure, very, very choppy, a bit channely, and then consider the long position. You know, even though if you break the structure, and if it rallies from here, then so be it, right? But you don't want to FOMO in, right? You don't want to FOMO into the trade. We are downtrending. Let's understand that. So yeah, if this is the real count, if this had to be the low, and you got this rally, we know that on the start, right, on the start of a new uptrend, because this is a start of a downtrend. This is the start of an uptrend. This is the start of a, you know, continuation of the downtrend. If you are going to start a new uptrend, most commonly the price moves up like this. It does not move up like this, right? Most commonly, you will get waves on the formation here to continue a new uptrend, right? You got the move down, you got the bounce. You formed a lower high, you continue to the downside. So there is no chance, okay, if you're not in a long position already from the swing failure pattern, you kind of need to wait for a pullback, right? You need to wait for a pullback. You need to look at CVD. Are there a lot of shorts entering the market, which will fuel the possible reversal, right? That is what you want to see. Apparently, we're getting longs entering right now, so that's a bunch of crap for the bulls. Lots of longs entering here on Bybit suddenly. 15 million longs here at the moment, so that is not good. We probably will pull back in the next couple of hours. But yeah, diving through here this scenario. Let's go to the 15-minute. I'm going to keep it relatively simple. We need to be cautious because we haven't broken market structure yet, right? Market structure has not been broken. That's your last lower high. That's your last lower low. So your lower high is here at 111.5K. If you are attempting a long position on a higher low, in a downtrend, you need a lot of information to be confident that the movement down is corrective. Okay, you need a lot of information. This is, trying to catch a higher low. They are the best ones, don't get me wrong. They are the best ones. When you catch a higher low on a reversal, right? When whoever longed here is an absolute master, right? But if you attempt all of them, then eventually you're getting stopped out all the time. But you literally, this is the sweet spot. First higher lows before the bigger reversal, right? Let me tell you one thing. This has a chance. It has a chance, guys. This has a chance to be the start of a reversal. There's one simple reason is you have a bullish case. If you have a bullish case on the chart, which is this one, 5 wave up, expanding diagonal, rare, but they do happen once in a while. And then a flat, claim the highs, claim the lows. It is a bit of a big flat for this expanding diagonal, but it's possible still. It's not that off time too much. So this bounce, that also looks pretty okay to be an internal 5 waver. Okay, you got a little leg to the upside, right? Little bounce, little consolidation, big move up. Well, big move. It is a $2,500 move, and then correction wave 4, possibly grinding here in your wave 5 for a contracting diagonal to end your wave 5. Okay, that's all good. Maybe this has been the local high and we start pulling back down now in the next coming hours. That pullback needs to be studied, and if anybody, I think catching the local triple top scenario here is kind of your best option as well to manage risk, because yeah, we are downtrending, guys. Okay, and downtrending market since Monday, you kind of are, your odds are kind of better to get into a lower high, right? With what I've explained, I think the best option here would have been just catching the double triple tops, right? You're targeting the low in a downtrend or in an uptrend. If you get in a higher low, you're targeting the highs. That's it. So your best option here would have been, trying to get into this local double triple top situation just to catch the best level. What I would like to see, that doesn't mean it needs to happen. What I would like to see to consider a new long position, or maybe add to my existing position and also get into a new one as well, possibly if everything aligns up nicely, is yesterday we are, attempting to break above the previous day value area high, right? We are kind of above it, actually. We are above it, maintaining it as support. The previous day point of control. Previous day point of control. We do know previous day point of controls act as resistance. Look at this one right over here from Wednesday. What happened? What happened here? We moved down. We were out of the previous value zone. We came back up. Previous day point of control ruined the party for the Bulls, not for the Bears. And then we came back down to test the lows. Just with this theory, we have left the previous value zone. If we get back inside, our best level is the point of control. In a downtrending market, it's not going to be an easy decision. I will be taking a look at data very carefully and looking at the waves very, very carefully here, guys, because yeah, we do have that previous day point of control. Daily open is slightly higher, but I would prefer previous day point of control coming down to the golden pocket region, right? Between 50% and the 7-8 Fibonacci is your most common zone to retrace on a wave 2. If this is going to be a wave 2, by the way, we don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but this is the zone. When and how do I take my decision? I need to be pretty clear and vocal on this, because I don't trade every single day, guys. I don't trade every single day. I wait for the best trades. And sometimes the price action doesn't do what I want it to do. But if it does what I want it to do, I will get into the trade. Okay? So what we would have to see here is that leg down. Okay? Get a first leg down. Little bounce, form a lower high, another leg down, another bounce, right? Form some consolidation. A consolidation here could be interesting at that point of control, golden pocket. If the price nukes down, I will not be the guy that tries to catch a falling knife, okay? I will not be the guy that tries to catch a falling knife here. So I need proof of support. I need choppiness. I do need, all right, the price to literally bottom out, find support. What I also need, and I can tell you something here, and this is a strategy that Devil uses very successfully to try and identify a corrective move. Taking into consideration CVD divergence, guys, this is like look, we got a bunch of long positions entering right now. What's happening? Well, the market is moving down. You don't want to see shorts at a high because, you know, I mean, yeah, you don't want to see shorts at the high because the market will come back up and take them. Long, sorry. And you don't want to see shorts at the lows as well because you will likely get that bounce. What we need to take into consideration here is CVD. CVD divergence. You can use ExoChart, Atus, AGGR.trade, which is free. And you can put lots of exchanges as well at the same time. AGGR, and it's free. It's absolutely awesome. What I would like to see from the lows of yesterday, as we do get this corrective move that could be unfolding in the next coming hours, I want to see on the CVD massive lower lows. I want people shorting the market. Okay, big lower lows on the CVD as the price does maintain a higher low. That is the first thing that I want to see. You want to see lots of shorts entering as we roll over. Lots of them. If you do have delta, then even better. You can actually see 10, 20 million, right? That's what I would want to see if the price comes down. Will it happen? I don't know, and I don't need to know if it is going to happen. If it goes up from here, well, you know, already long from a swing failure pattern, then higher we go. If the price moves down to this zone, we get bullish CVD divergence, and we get a bit of a three-waver, right? You want to see some kind of a three-wave move, bit of a consolidation here. And what is a successful way also based on trend lines, because not every single trend line is a good long or short, because I could have got a trend line from the lows of yesterday and put it onto this higher low. Oh guys, we broke trend. Let's all short here. Let's put stop loss at the high because we've broken this crappy trend line to the upside. Let's all short here all together, right? Shall we do that? No. Bang. Stopped out. This is a bunch of rubbish, right? What you want to know about trend line, breakout trend line, is more information. You need more information. I would say that this trend line break is a good long position. If you form a three-wave structure down, you're finding support in a consolidation, and you're getting massive bullish CVD divergence. You're actually getting people shorting the market like crazy, and you're forming lower lows. That data together with the three-wave structure move down, the trend line breakout here is a good option. Especially, you know, when you got that low right over here of the first leg, that's already giving a good option here for that break of trend, right? To come and claim the highs. So not every trend line breakout, right, is a good option, right? But this one would be in this case. Catching the low on the third wave is complicated, guys. Let's be true here, right? It's not easy. It's like it's a little bit of luck, right? Get that movement down, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna long straight away here. You don't want to long straight away. when you are downtrending. You're still bearish market structure, okay? There's still lower highs and lower lows being on the formation in the last few days. So I'm just giving you a plan here, legends, right? This is how I plan the trades, and I wait for that possible plan. Now, the trend line break after a three-wave structure is an option here. Massive bullish CVDs, break of trend, then we can get that A, B, C, or a 1, 2, and 3, and we actually go to much higher levels in the next coming days. That's what I want to see, okay? To consider re-entering a new long position, all of that information coming to support, seeing proof of support, right? Really getting that absorption, lots of shorts entering, you're finding support at the previous day point of control with a golden pocket zone. You formed a three-wave structure. Another way to identify this is the leg to the upside. If you did not get into the trend break, the moment you overlap this lower high, then that's the moment that you understand that, yeah, this is likely just going to shoot up at some point. This no longer becomes a bearish move down, okay, in an impulse. It's corrective. The third wave failed. And if the fourth wave does overlap this pivot low and this pivot high, even better. That's very, very bullish. That's kind of almost a confirmation that you're going to take out this high, right? Where's the best trade? Trend line break. Catching the low, you need to go to the 5-minute time frame, look at the exhaustion. You're looking at bullish CVD. Your hard invalidation here is the low, right? You need a higher low to take out this high. Your hard invalidation, anybody want to get in aggressively, the low is your invalidation, and that's it. But there's ways to get into the trade with more information. Bullish CVDs. Wait for the trend breakout after forming a three-wave move down, right? You're breaking out. You're entering here. Your stop loss is here, the last low. There are ways to get in, right? Kind of safely here. Bearish case scenario. We need to talk about the bearish one because, I mean, this is the bullish one, right? If we were to move up from here, what can we say? I don't think is the case. It is Friday. We've seen previous Fridays being very, very bearish, guys. The 10th of October was massively bearish. Big move down liquidation event. The 17th of October was a big leg down also on a Friday. You can see this was Friday. This was Friday. Last Friday, we did get a little dump, but we recovered pretty nicely throughout the weekend. So almost every single Friday of October has been bearish. Okay. So we want to take that with a pinch of salt, right? It's Halloween as well, guys. And it's a bit of a scary night today. So maybe Halloween is going to come to the markets also, and we get a devastating collapse, right? It kind of makes sense. It's Halloween strategy, guys. It's going to be bearish. We just want to, take that with a grain of salt, okay? This long position it's not going to be an easy execution, right? I'm not here to say, guys, the market's going to be forming a higher low here. Let's all long together. You need to be professional on this, right? If you want to make gains on this, I am aware of the breakdown. We are downtrending. I am aware of the bearish case. Okay. I need to execute this with good, solid data. Three-wave down. We're finding support. I'm checking the CVD. A possible lower time frame entry on a local double bottom. Managing risk. This is how you do it. There's no other way. If you put some limit longs here, and then you go to a Halloween party and check out the price tomorrow, we might be trading at 100K, right? And you're underwater. It's not how you want to trade it. That is the local bullish case scenario, guys. Okay. I'm not sure if we're going to get a pullback. I'm not sure if we're going to bounce. This technically has a possibility of being a higher low. That's it. It's possible. I'm in a long position from down here, from the swing failure pattern. We created a swing failure pattern here. I attempted 2 longs yesterday. One got stopped out at a daily level. And then we got the swing failure pattern. Now, bearish case scenario. Smash up that like button, legend. Let's see how many likes we do have, because we got almost 500 people watching here. And the like button is at 100. Yeah, there's no way we're going to go through the different scenarios here, guys. Okay, we're talking about trading plans, possibilities. I cannot be only on one direction of the market. I need to adjust. I realize the bearish case scenario, there is a very strong bearish case, and I need to talk about it. Okay, I need to talk about the opportunities. Here, preferably in this downtrend, your best scenario is getting into local triple tops. Okay, there's no other, on this movement down halfway, there's no good scenario. I want to talk about how the price could develop, how it could develop. I'm not sure if it's going to develop this way, but I know it has a chance in developing this way, and I know the tools, I know the strategy, I know the setup that I'm looking for that could happen, right? I will talk about 5 scenarios, and maybe one of them happens, maybe not. But if I'm ready for one of those scenarios, right? That's what we do as traders. We get a few things ready, and one of them could unfold. When that one unfolds, you only got your risk management that is there and your execution, right? Risk management and execution. That's the only step that you need once one of those scenarios are unfolding. So that is the bullish case locally here, guys. There's no other scenario. I will be a little bit concerned if the price moves down here. Yes, you still have another shot for a double bottom swing failure pattern from this higher low, okay? I have to say, if the price rolls over very aggressively, there is still one shot for a swing failure pattern. We've had one of them. For the moment, we got a bounce of $4,000 almost today. That's a big move. I mean, that's a pretty nice move. For the moment, we've got one swing failure pattern succeeding today. Got a nice bounce. If the price were to nuke down here, there's one more shot. One more shot. You're beneath the level, you're not interested. You get back above the level, you can take the shot. Same scenario here. There is one more shot, I have to say, for a double bottom swing failure pattern to get the bounce. If this is not the one, this might be the one that takes us to 116k, guys, and you'll be surprised. So the thing is getting into a long here. Nobody wants to long up here, right? There's going to be more shorts entering, and that can fuel the movement up. So, I mean, this is the thing, you know, I'm not too interested in doing anything unless you're catching the triple top situation here, and you're already entered. You got a tiny stop. I would not want to enter halfway through here on the move down. So that's another option, guys. It's either clear correction with bullish CVDs down to the point of control, golden pocket. There is an option here. Trend breakout after a three-way structure is an option to get in if you're not in already. If you nuke down very aggressively, I would sit on my hands, guys. You know, it's Friday, it's Halloween Friday. We are still in bearish market structure. You know, it's either a higher low, three-wave structure. You're looking at the data, trend breakout. It's holding support at previous day point of control. It's looking good. We can take the attempt. If you were to nuke down, there's only one shot here. SFP beneath this higher low and this low. So in between 106k and 103.6k, I'm not interested in executing a long here. If we SFP, I would be interested in executing the long above the lows eventually, right? Stop loss at the fake out low. So that's a little bit of the scenarios here for the bulls. And like I said, this has the potential, after sweeping the highs of the range, after sweeping these higher lows, this has the potential, okay, of being the low in a flat. When we go through the lower time frame, there is a pretty solid way to count a 5-wave move to the downside here, okay? There is actually a pretty solid way where you have the rejection from 116k, wave 1, wave 2, and you've got a small wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to finish your third wave. All of this is your third wave. That's where you have the highest amount of volume on the 1 hourly time frame in this move. A running flat in your wave 4, and then your wave 5 that happened yesterday. Okay, so there is a 5-wave move here to be counted nicely, even going through the lower time frame. On that wave 3, you do have good 5-wave move down. There is a solid way. Isn't a 5-wave down an impulse where you're looking for a lower high and then lower? Yes. However, there is, funny enough, there is a bullish chance here. There is an ABC flat after an expanding diagonal, which is super rare, guys. It is super, super rare, but if it's on the chart, you need to consider it, right? And this is why we talk about the longs SFP for the aggressive traders. If you did not get into the SFP, who knows if this is just going to grind up like this? And you're like, where do I long? Where the heck do I long? Your only chance here to do it kind of safely is wait for the pullback, and that pullback to get supported with bullish CVDs and break the trend, the local mini trend. That's the only opportunity, I would say, kind of in a safe way with a bit of data. So if we move down from here and we double bottom, what Elliott wave count would you take into consideration? I will have to move my wave 4 here. And you might think, well, what? That is a bunch of nonsense. Why are you doing that? I thought that was already, in, right? Isn't your 5-wave in already? Well, you need to adjust to the market conditions. Here, you have a running flat that it can be an A wave of a flat. So you got the B wave here, and then this in an impulse, the C wave of the flat. A running flat for your wave 4, surprise, right? And it might look like a bunch of nonsense, but you can't. This could be the wave 4 still being developed. And then you get your wave 5. And then you get the rally after creating the swing failure pattern here. This is why, considering Elliott wave theory, I adjust my count, realizing that this could be the case. Wave 4 is extending even from yesterday's levels, and it could form a swing failure pattern still again, right? Just keeping it simple. It's just a regular swing failure pattern, okay? But I like to adjust Elliott wave theory to see the possible counts as well. So it is possible for a double bottom here and not breaking down, okay? That's why we take it into consideration. This is a danger zone, okay? This is where your risk management is your best friend. This box here, anybody that is attempting any longs here, okay? Risk management is your best friend. We are aware of the breakdown, which is the bearish case. You cannot fuck around with limit longs and having all of that bullshit, right? Into, swing failure pattern, let's see if it happens. No, you need to be watching, having some alerts, and getting back above those lows, because it can break down. Your only friend here is your risk management, because if you break down this area, we're likely going to come down to the 103.6k, and eventually, who knows what's going to happen after this? Will it break down below 100k? It's not a zone that I would want to be in some long positions. I'll tell you that, right? If you get below certain level, I'm out. I'm out, right? I don't want to be in a long, holding a long underwater. No, I've done that before. Been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. So what is the bullish case? The bearish case, sorry. We just gone through the bullish case, for goodness sake. Let's go through the bearish case, which is very real. It's very, very real. And it does hold the highest probability. I'm sorry. Why does it hold the highest probability? Where did you make that up from, right? Where did you get that? Well, because the bullish case is an expanding diagonal with a flat. This is rare, but it can happen. Sometimes the rarest thing, and when everybody's so bearish, guys, man, I've gone through Twitter this morning with my coffee. It's insane, the bearishness that there is. Holy smokes. The bearish scenario is real. Man, it's Halloween. I got some kids doing trick-or-treating, and the dogs are going absolutely bananas, guys. We're going to have to leave because I need to give some sweets to the kids. I got my missus doing that. But man, it's Halloween and the neighborhood here is going absolutely crazy. Kids are going around already asking for candy. And the dogs are going bananas. Anyway, there's a lot of bearish sentiment, okay? This guy over here, Bitcoin is going to 70K. We have already entered a 12-month bear market. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it could be, right? People are trying to already, call for the bear market. But there's many of them, right? You get many of them out there. Even this guy from the S&P 500. Man, the S&P 500 only hit all-time high a couple of days ago. I do see a bear market happening, but trying to call the top here is, a little bit brave, I would say, right? That's the word. So, anyway, bullish scenarios, that's it, guys. Those are the bullish cases. Bearish case, it's pretty obvious. You got an impulsive move to the downside. You got a corrective move up, swing failure pattern. Whoever managed to maintain that swing failure pattern of 116K is an absolute boss, okay? Whoever is still in that short is a boss, hopefully taking profits. But this is a pretty random average trade, really, in a nutshell. It is a pretty random test your wave 4 after the wave 3 dead cat bounce. And it was, if you were defensive, you're getting stopped out here with this pump up. Let's leave it that way. This is what market does, right? It wants to get you out of the position to then leave without you. So we need to be aware of these scenarios. When the market reverses, it forms the most difficult zones, right? Before it reverses, right? When the market reverses, we need to understand that, guys. If the market wants to reverse, you will feel extremely bearish, right? As a general sentiment looking at the chart. This has the potential of breaking down this low and then forming the SFP. You're downtrending, it's looking crap. Oh, we're moving down, we're going to break down, it's going to happen. And it only, stops out everybody that's attempting longs and then reverses, right, throughout the next coming days and claims the other high of the range at 116K. Market is here to trick you. It's here to make it difficult for you to be in a successful trade. It's just the way it is, right? Especially when you're looking for these larger moves. Okay, so that's why double bottom here is an option on the bullish case as well, right? Especially that higher low at 116K. I would consider that an SFP zone. It is a good option, let's say. Maybe the SFP has happened to you guys, so if you're not positioned, I'm afraid that you're going to have to wait for the pullback, because entering longs here is not going to be easy, an easy task when we're in bearish momentum still, bearish structure. The last lower high is 111.5, so not many people want to long here on the bounce in a downtrend, right? However, this is what happened last week, and we were very much aware of multiple 1-2s, and we talked about a long setup here. Not even coming down to lower prices here, guys, because market might just leave without you. And we had previous day value area high, previous day point of control, where we had to reclaim, which we did, and that was your long trigger, right? When you get a reversal after a move down, you might think, okay, get the bounce, let's get the pullback, and then let's all long together and make money at the golden pocket. Well, yeah, it is. Sometimes it does happen. It's wishful thinking, but you need to plan it. And longing when you've bounced like this and you're forming these shallow pullbacks, man, this is difficult to get into longs on these shallow pullbacks, right? So who knows if the market is just gonna shallow pullback all the way up to 116K. Everybody will be like, well, yeah, I was not expecting that. Weekend is coming. I mean, weekend did pump a little bit. Last weekend did get some pretty interesting momentum up. where we created that gap, right? Remember? So it's not going to be easy here, guys, to enter along if it just continues pumping. We got the point of control as well of the entire range, which is just sitting, you know, about $1,000 away from current price, which is exactly where the lower high, last lower high is of the local bearish structure is. I would say that this could be a little bit of an SFP area. Bearish case scenario, what I would prefer to see, as we can count an impulsive move down from the Monday highs at 116.4k. This is more a solid impulse than a corrective structure, but it can be the flat as explained on the bullish one. I would prefer for this to actually, you know, it can get the first fake out from that last lower high, but or even from here. I want to see a move down and then the move up. I want to see a three-wave move here developed in the next couple of days. I can't short the first leg up. It's just not in me. So I need some kind of a three-waver fake out from the point of control. Maybe, you know, it might reject at the golden pocket. That would not be an easy trade as you're reclaiming the point of control of the entire range. That's kind of a bullish sign, right? We're above the point of control. We got above a big major resistance from the zone of October. This is kind of feeling bullish. So we need to be aware of the fake out here. I mean, there's not much resistance that we can rely on here. There's a naked point of control around about 114k, sorry, which is a bit higher. It's not going to be an easy short if you fake out from here. So I think, you know, my best option, something that I was explaining here with the legends, is fake out the point of control. After a three-wave up, if this third wave fails and loses the point of control, I would say that we're looking at, you know, basically a bear flag, right? And we're going to end up nuking down. A fake out of the point of control after a three-wave structure. I think the only way to get into this trade, because if you break above the point of control, I'm aware of a three-wave up. I'm aware of the bullish case that we head up to 116k, right? It is a difficult area to short, in my opinion, after getting above the point of control. But the market is here to trick you around, right? I'm aware of moving up above $1,000, the point of control. Oh my goodness, it's looking good. We're reclaiming the level. And then, you know, the market takes a dump and it loses that point of control. If we do get lots of longs entering here, bearish CVDs from these lower highs, from this high here of Monday and Tuesday, man, I will definitely consider, you know, going in a short. However, it's not going to be easy to execute the top of the high for a short here. What I would want to see is the loss of the point of control, and that would be the moment, even in this zone, that I would consider that short. Short here, stop loss at the highs, shorting out as we lose the point of control, and eventually this would be targeting the lows at 103k zone and even lower, right, if it breaks down. But yeah, this would be kind of the setup here that I would be interested in if the price, you know, evolves in this way. I want a bit of a three-waver, false breakout above the point of control, which is sitting at 111.5k zone. But I need a three-waver, right? And I need the loss. I need the price to lose that point of control. And I don't need to catch the high, because I'm aware of the bullish case. I want to see weakness. And in the weakness of losing the point of control, I have a possible entry. And that's how I would, you know, I participate again in a short position, right? Looking at this. We need to adapt to the market, guys, okay? We need to adapt to the levels, the conditions. We cannot have only one directional bias. We need to understand the bearish case and the bullish case. The most bearish case scenario is forming multiple 1-2s to the downside here. You might think, what the heck is multiple 1-2s, right? Well, multiple 1-2s is formed before you get a big major move, right? you know, where I'm trying to find here, well, we got here, yeah, this literally right over here, right? When you got this correction over here in 2024, right? You slowly moving up, boom, 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 bang, right? It looks like a wedge, but you're forming multiple 1-2s before you form your third wave. And in this case, the most bearish case scenario would be forming multiple 1-2s to the downside, which is, I have to say, it is possible. If this is the case, this has to be your last lower high. I'm not a huge fan of this, but you know, your invalidation, look no further. It's that last lower high. If you hit this level, then that's it. There's no multiple 1-2s. This has to be 1-2 lower high, 1-2 lower high, 1-2 lower high, 1-2 lower high, and then price rolls over and ends up breaking down, right? Say Friday today. Friday has been bearish, guys. Very, very bearish throughout October. It's Halloween as well, so maybe it's going to be a Halloween wave 3 multiple 1-2 scenario. If you want to take a chance on the multiple 1-2, which is very possible, your invalidation is 111.5k. But this could, you know, if it does play out, it absolutely nukes eventually, right? You're taking 103k and maybe even lower prices. As we do have lots of shorts entering the market, this does not look too attractive. This is why taking a look at CVD and taking a look at order flow, maybe taking out the local highs, a local double top to catch the highest level, because you did get a bunch of shorts entering here just a couple of hours ago, 15 million. Now there's lots of longs, so that's kind of good. It's kind of good to take out the highs and then form a local double top. The best way, if you want to catch a multiple 1-2, I mean, looking at this structure, your best option is looking for another take of the high, as we're getting lots of shorts in here. Another pop up and then maybe down. Maybe that's the one. Local double tops here is your kind of option here to get into the trade, right? Just to have a good position, good risk management. Multiple 1-2s, I have to say, it is a possibility. Your invalidation is 111.5k, which is yesterday's last lower high from the bearish market structure. It's the last lower high. You hit this level, and on the movement down, you got a good chance that it could do this, right? Form a larger 3-wave move down, because at the end of the day, you're looking at just an impulse, a 3-wave structure, and you either break out in a 3rd wave or you roll down. You roll down, you lose the point of control, you're looking for a short stop loss, you're moving down, taking out the low. You need to adjust to all of the different conditions. Where does the opportunities lie? And that's how we do it. Manage risk accordingly, right? Because even though you could be planning for a trade for many hours in the morning and it gets stopped out, and you're like, damn, I've been planning this trade all day, I've been waiting for it, and I got stopped out. Well, that's it. Don't worry, move on. Create another plan for the next trade. So yeah, there's a little bit of what I'm looking at here, guys. I hope you did enjoy a little bit of that. Oh, let's get that like button at least above 200 likes, guys. I'm not here for no likes, okay? I'm not here for no likes. I'm here for some like button, okay? Smashing. Because I'm putting a little bit of time and effort of analysis that I've been doing in the morning to try and figure out here how we can get into the new opportunities. Don't get me wrong. The opportunity here aggressively to take the low, to catch the low, is a swing failure pattern. If you wanted to get into a short also from the high at the beginning of the week, it was look no further, right? A swing failure pattern. Difficult because the price almost took out the high and then went left down. But your best shot here was a swing failure pattern from the last higher lows that you have, right? So this is the problem right now. Price could just grind to the upside and nothing of our plans is coming to fruition. That's the thing, right? Wait for a sign of strength and then the pullback, and then he's like, well, where's the pullback, man? Where's the pullback? The price is just leaving. So sometimes catching a low on a SFP when you have a bullish scenario, in this case expanding diagonal with a flat, sometimes trying to catch the low out of swing failure pattern gives you the best risk management because your stop loss is small. You're entering on the recovery of the last higher low, right? Look no further, guys. This is like the bomb diggity strategy. It's like it works perfect, and what works good as well is your risk management. I would say this is an aggressive swing failure pattern at the point of control. It's the last bear market structure. I'm not too fond of shorting here, guys, realizing the bullish case. Like I said, where I would be looking for a short, I need a bit of more structure. There's a chance of this being an impulse. I want a little bit of a bit of hopium, right? Get a bit of bullish hopium and lose the point of control, confirm a three-wave structure, bearish CVD divergence from this lower high, lose the support. I'm going to execute this short if we form this kind of formation there. And I'm targeting the lows and even 100K. I'm happy to short, guys, because, you know, the market has a bit of a bearish structure. There is bearish scenarios. The only way that I could get into a trade as a swing trade would be this kind of a three-waver in the next few days, a breakup above the point of control and fail the flip of support of the point of control, and then look for this move down eventually, right? So yeah, this is what happens when you short the highs. When there's too many shorts, I mean, right? This is what happens when there's too many shorts here. Price is pumping into those local highs because some brave traders on Bybit, you know, are attempting to short the highs, and you get 14 million shorting at 110.3K, and our market is pumping to that level. It's actually good to see people shorting here for the price to move higher. So yeah. Those are a little bit of the scenarios, guys. Much love to everybody. I'm still bullish on Ethereum, higher time frame. I am aware of Bitcoin bearishness. I will consider. Still haven't done anything with the trades on Ethereum on the different exchanges, but I will monitor depending on what Bitcoin does. Okay, in the next coming days to see if if it's worth closing those longs as a swing trade. If you're interested in trading, guys, BTCC. Bluffing, they are great exchanges. You get 15% deposit cashback on Bluffing, guys. Take advantage. I think today's the last day. Well, 30th, it's still active. Okay, to claim that 15% cashback on your deposits. BTCC, you got $10,000 in rewards, and you can trade stock market, S&P 500, gold. Okay, using crypto, using stable coins. Check the links down below, guys, where you do get these exchanges. You just need an email and a password to join, okay, to sign up. Either Bluffin or BTCC, anywhere around the world, in my understanding. And they just require email and password, guys. No personal information. So Bitcoin pumping into the local highs. Bitcoin is trying to take out those local highs. I've explained a little bit of the waves and the situation. It is Friday. It is Halloween. Let's see how Halloween is gonna behave for the markets. Okay, Fridays have been very bearish. In October, man, this Friday was absolute nuke city. Right on the 10th of October, we got a very, very nasty move down. A lot of people got hurt here. Even myself, some spot altcoins, went down. I got stopped out on a trade, but stopped out, not liquidated. Man, this is why risk management is your only strategy. It's the only strategy, risk management. Don't play around because, man, this event was bad. This was on a Friday. This move down was also on a Friday. This little move down was on a Friday. We recovered throughout the weekend. So, no need for the Friday to be dumpy, but, man, Fridays this month haven't been too nice with us. Not much more, guys. I've explained a little bit of what I need to see for another new long. Anybody that catch this swing failure pattern, absolutely beautiful. If you do correct down, bullish CVD divergence, it's going to give an option for a trend breakout if we do channel here to take that move up. If we move up in a three-wave structure and we fail to get above point of control and we lose it, this could be it, guys. Bearish case, impulse, 3-wave structure, wave 1, wave 2. You're probably building your wave 3 here. So that's, you know, something that we're going to have to pay attention in the next coming days. Much love to everybody. Thanks for smashing up that like button, guys. Okay, we're above 500 people, 200 likes. Come on, as you leave today, it is Friday. Much love. Bybit bros, getting into shorts. This is why the market is pumping locally. Guys, do short or long now. Yeah, well, I've explained a little bit of what we need to see depending on the plans here. Okay, at least my plan. Much love to everybody. Staff One, much love to you. Teddy, caught 106.8. Absolute legend. Nice, man. Thanks. Talis, much love. Legends, Baby Genius, muy bueno, muy importante. Have a great Friday. It is Halloween. I hope that you guys are going to have a great weekend with friends, family, dress up or not. You know, stay chilled. Have a great weekend. And I will see you in the next one.